Okay, so good day everyone. My name is Guadagnina Pabilan. So I am here to report about management of teaching and learning materials. So teaching and learning materials can make teaching and learning process stimulating and effective provided they are properly utilized and managed. So we all know naman na teaching and learning materials is very useful or very important to us as a teacher of a multi-grade classes. So it is important to note that multi-grade teachers need teaching and learning materials more because they are required to cater the pupils' need to work independently most of the time during the lesson. So we all know naman nga ang multi-grade teachers is need to be flexible in all areas. So, teaching and learning resources. So, teaching and learning resources are materials that keep help to make teaching and learning process interactive, interesting, and effective. So, as a teacher in a multi-grade classes, so we should know how to be resources. Like in our materials, we can use indigenous materials or like that, and teaching and learning resources can be curriculum materials, syllabus, teacher's guide, and pupils' books. So they can also be teaching and learning aids materials that are often provided by the teacher. So we all know naman na this is very important to us a teachers in a multi-grade classes. Teaching and learning aids can be real objects that are relevant to the topic being taught. Examples include uprooted plants, flowers, tools, scales, thermometers, etc. They can be models, pictures, and diagrams of the things being taught, like game boards, cards, and puppets are useful in teaching or learning materials. They can also be a self-instructional worksheets which are designed for pupils to work on tasks individually, in pairs, or small groups. So like in flowers, so if like for example nag-teach kag science, so about plants, so you can have the plants in reality because makita ra ni nato sa atong palibot. And then kung pictures like in body parts or diagrams, so pwede raman ta makapalit og charts or mo-print out, so makita dyan po na sa mga students nato. And game boards, cards, and puppets, so maunay pinaka-important o gamit kayo nga mga learning materials in teaching multi-grade classes. And also, like for example, if you are teaching math, so maka-use pud kag mga worksheets or window cards for your pupils. So next, advantages of using teaching or learning materials. So here are some advantages of using teaching or learning materials. So first is concretize abstract objects through first-hand experience. Second, make work easy for the teacher in class. And third, help pupils remember and understand facts, processes, and principles. Fourth, enable pupils to carry out instructions easily, especially worksheets and instructions sheets or cards. And the fifth one, develop pupils' independent learning skills. Sixth is help pupils to develop logical thinking. Example, matching cards, ordering pictures and objects. And the seventh is capture and maintain pupils' attention and interest in the lesson. And the last one is develop pupils' cooperative skills. So these are the advantages of using teaching or learning materials in a multi-grade classes. The next one is challenges teachers face in preparing teaching and learning resources. Some of the challenges expressed by teachers in making their own teaching or learning materials are such as: first, lack of raw materials, like manila cards, glue, coloring materials, and so on. So we all know naman nga daghan man jud school nga lack of raw materials, like kanang gamitonon jud sa eskwelahan, di ba? Kay bawo naman ta, especially sa public schools, kay magsalig raman siya sa government beya. So dili jud tanan mahatagan og kanang materials. And the second one is lack of artistic skills to make teaching aids. So naabiya jud kasagaran baya, not some but not all ha. Some of the teachers nowadays baya nga dili na kayo sila artistic, wala na kayo na develop nga skills, but they can have their printed one. So makuan na Japon ni ang masulbad na Japon ning problema sa inani. And the third one is lack of time. So we know naman nga ang teaching in a multigrade classes kay kanang nag-need jud og time. So gamay raman jud time kay bawo nakadagan kay kanang pila guna ka grades imong more than 2 ba ning multigrade classes. So di jud na nimo kuan tanan kay tungod sa gamay ra ang time. And the fourth one is lack of equipment, so like scissors, knife, saw, hammer, and so on. So like kung naay kay bawo naman tang sa kuan sa like in a public schools, so bihira ra jud ng complete ang equipment. So kadalasan jud ana nagkuwang jud. And the fifth one is lack of storage facilities. So like for example in public school, so lack of storage facilities jud kay tungod sa kadaghag students gani nga nang eskwela, and ang areas kay gamay ra, so wala na jud for storage facilities. And that is really dako nga problema sa dire sa atong lugar. Then the last one but not the least, lack of security. And we all know naman nga kanang daghan kayo kuan kay daghan og mga bad habits or kanang mahitabo. So di po wa tay assurance gani nga naay jud nga secure jud ang place. So that's it. So the next one is how can you cope up with these challenges? So first, lack of raw materials. So use available waste, thrown away used materials. Like for example, makita nato sa atong palibot, empty rice bag. So useful in making diagrams and charts. So mahimo ni siya kung mag-make tag diagrams and charts. Cement papers, so useful in making the same things as in empty rice bag. So it could also be used in making worksheets and books. Kay gamit man Japon nato siya baya. So and empty cartons, useful in making flashcards, picture cards, and game boards. So empty cartons pwede man na nimo nga maoy imong suwatan, like for example na nagtudlo kag math, so imo na butangan dito sa multiplication table na may nana para maoy imong use for teaching. And square chart, clock faces, and so on, pwede sa nimo drawingan og clock faces for you to use it for teaching. And the next is bottle caps, useful in counting during lessons in math. Yes, magamit yun na siya para kanang like for example sa mga grade 1, so magamit natin ni siya nya ma-enjoy sad sila ba kay bottle caps ilang gikon ma-enjoy ba yata. Then old sleepers, useful making models of animals around us. So pwede po ni siya will and also in making abacus. I don't know what is abacus, but I think kanang magamit ni siya in teaching. And jam and mayonnaise jar, so this can be used as bakers. So kana siya kanang dili bakers nga kuha na kanang gamiton gi nato if mag-experiment ta. If I'm not mistaken, mao na siya sa science. So next, lack of artistic skills. So para makakup up tani nga problem as teachers, so mo ask lang ta sa colleagues nato or relatives, friends, or and parents in the community to help. Like pupils can help to use pictures from old books, magazines, and newspapers. So nana kay ma-use ana for your artistic skills para manindot ang imong gibuhat nga IMs. Use real objects. Example, in teaching parts of flowering plants, you could use uprooted plants. So kana ma-use na nato in teaching science. And lack of time, so seek for help from colleague, friends, parents, and pupils. So pwede ra nato nga mo mangayo tagtabang bisag kinsaan na nila, friends, parents, and pupils. So use weekends and holiday periods to prepare materials in advance. So I think kanang in ani jud siguro ang reality kay mostly manggod sa nag-teacher kay may-use jud nila ang weekends o holidays nila. So that is lack of equipment. So we need to borrow from friends, colleagues, or in a community members, and make the best use of carpenters and smiths in the community. So maka-use sa taan nila, then use jam jars like empty bottles, empty tins, and so on to improvise some laboratory equipments and raise funds to buy some of the equipment needed. So that's it. And lastly, lack of storage facilities. So there is a need to store your materials once you have made them, because you and your colleagues may need them again. The thing can damage these materials include mice, termites, dust, damp, and fungus, rain and wind. There is also need to protect them against thief. To protect your teaching or learn materials, put them in a polythene bags according to grade and level or subjects, and pack them in a strong cartons and keep them in your class cupboard, to the head teacher's office, or even in your house. So kaninid dyan na to nga naatay good quality of storage kay lisod na kanang next school year or next nga gamit na to, wala na ang atong IMs nga atong gihaguan pag himo gani. So we need to have a good storage para nga to na to ibutang ang mga instructional materials. Kay di ba lalim maghimog instructional materials, ang atong hago, atong expenses kay bayran ba na ato ba ng paliton, di ba? Then atong hago pa nya mga sleepless nights na to. So need yun na to ang good storage para di siya ma-damage sa ilaga, then di siya maabugan, then walay mga termites nga mo kit-kit ato dito. Kay grabe na ng termites, grabe kay ni mice na, grabe kay ni makadaot sa butang. So that's it. And the next reporter will be Miss Parenzo. Thank you for listening.